Before we get started with today's episode, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Our first sponsor today is Atmos Planning. They do financial planning in a very unique way, so check them out. Our second sponsor for the day is Planet Duct. They do air duct cleaning, but not just any air duct cleaning. Super professional, high quality, and registered with the National Air Ducts Association. All right, so that's our sponsors for the day. Thank you very much, and let's get started. Welcome back to the COS Business Podcast, the best podcast in Colorado Springs. I'm sitting here today. I love saying that. It's just fun to say.
I like it.
Yeah. And I crack myself up every time I say it, too, if you don't notice.
I've noticed one from the ones I've listened to.
Okay, sweet. Nice. And so I'm sitting here today with Matthew Forster with Pick It Up Fitness. Can you tell us a little bit about your business and what you guys are about?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for having me, Andrew. We are a fitness center that's located on the corner of Powers and Research. We've been in business about 8 years now. We do small group classes. We do personal training and nutrition counseling.
Okay, sweet, man. You got that down.
Works for us.
Yeah. So where you guys, where did you say you're located?
Powers and Research.
Powers and Research.
So the northeast side of town.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. So, well, I can't wait to get into that in this episode, but before we do that, I'm going to roll the intro music and then we'll get started.
All right.
This is a show where we have real conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners who are mostly in Colorado Springs doing things in the community of Colorado Springs. Awesome, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, man, for sure. So how long have you been doing this business?
So Pick It Up's been around 8 years now. We've been, so myself and my wife, we've been in the fitness industry about 10 years.
Okay.
So the first couple of years in big box gyms before we ventured out on our own.
And what got you into that?
Venturing out on our own?
Just fitness altogether.
Gotcha. So it was really my sister. So I moved here from New York, Long Island, New York. Mm-hmm. I came here to meet my niece when she was 4 or 5 months old. I was here for a week. I came back a month later, and my sister threw out the idea, just, hey, what are you going to do? Are you going to finish your degree? Because I was going to school to become an educator. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was like, I don't think I want to do anything in that. And I was working at a restaurant here in town. And then she threw out the idea, well, all you do is work at the restaurant. Once you wake up, you have breakfast, you then go work out, and it's just kind of a never-ending cycle. She's like, you ever think of doing anything in the gym? And at the time, I had no idea what that could mean. But I did some quick research, and it turns out that there was a really, really reputable school here in town for personal training.
Okay.
Yeah, so went and sat in on a class. I was there maybe 45 minutes, absolutely fell in love with the idea of it, went home, did the paperwork, and I was a part of their next class that started 2 months later.
Okay, and then what's that class do for you? What is it? What's the thing that? Yeah.
Sure. So it was a 6-month vocational school, the National Personal Training Institute of Colorado Springs. They had 2 campuses here in Colorado Springs, or one here in Colorado Springs, one in Lakewood, Colorado. And it was a Monday through Thursday school in which we were getting the science application we were getting the science down in the classroom, learning in the classroom, but then we also spent 2.5 hours in the actual gym training each other. So you actually went through the motions, or more than just the motions, and experienced training a client before you were ever asking somebody for that sale later on down the road. Mm-hmm. So a lot of hands-on experience.
Did they teach you that too? How to get clients?
Absolutely. Okay. Not as much as I had thought, or once I got into the real world of it, mm-hmm. I was a little thrown off. But that's just something that if you want to stick around, you got to figure out on your own anyway.
For sure, yeah, because it's always adapting, and always changing, and there's new methods all the time of how to get clients, how to grow your business. Essentially, I mean, a business is nothing without clients or nothing without customers. So how did you go about doing that?
Well, I started in a big box gym. I started in 24-hour fitness. It was actually the same gym that we as students trained each other in. So it was a nice transition from being a student to then being an employee there. I was there for a year, and it really was just getting to know the members, offering advice when you can, not going after that sale immediately, mm-hmm. just trying to build those relationships. That's what it keeps coming down to.
It is. That's what I've noticed too, it's relationships for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. So what, when starting this business, what's that first day, first week, first month look like?
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. But yeah, it was a calculated risk when we left 24-hour fitness, and we actually started Pick It Up Fitness in that same school that both my wife Hannah and I were products of, which mm-hmm. was right across the street from that same 24-hour fitness. So in the beginning, with those clients that we were training at 24-Hour Fitness, what do you mean you're leaving? It's like, well, just make a right instead of a left, and if you want to still train with us, you can. We're just right across the street, so it wasn't a big change for a lot of them.
Did that break any contracts or anything with 24-Hour Fitness?
For the very vast majority of them, we were towards the end of their sessions and whatnot, so it wasn't a big deal.
Okay, sweet.
24-Hour wanted to make it seem like it was a big deal, just like any big gym would or any business would.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, your clients if they want to follow you, they will.
Yeah, they were there anyways for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, so we started in that school right across the street. We were there maybe 3 weeks, and then realized because it was a very small room in this school, a very small studio, that we needed to find a place. And we were very fortunate that about 4 doors down from that facility, there was a spot that was opening up. So that was our very first location. It was Beverly Street, so very close to Academy in Austin Bluffs.
Mm-hmm.
We were there for 2 years. It was definitely not an ideal setup. You walked in the front door, there was a small gym area. Then we had 2 offices and a hallway, a little kitchenette that never got used.
Mm-hmm.
And then you opened another door, and it took you to a garage space where we had 2 big bay doors. Definitely more in line with a lot of people's visions for gyms like we do with the small group training.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to constantly divide the classes, which meant in the beginning we had to always have 2 coaches no matter what, because some people were going to spill into the back room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did you grow from there?
So from there, as far as growth went, it was a lot of word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, just taking care of the people that were with us that chose to trust us with their fitness and their health, and doing right by them. And slowly but surely, they would invite friends and coworkers, significant others. And then after the first 2 years, we realized, okay, we can definitely continue on with this. We had a 3-year lease, but we knew we couldn't continue on in that space just because it was so hidden. Like if somebody walked by, you would think they needed directions elsewhere, because it was there's no way you were just wandering back down the side road.
Was it hindering growth?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And then we were very fortunate to find our location on Powers and Research. So we went about 10 minutes north, and the vast majority came with us, moved to that location, made the move super easy in terms of just all of them being so excited to go into a bigger space. Pretty much every single member at the time showed up whatever day that was, Saturday,
They were
to help
stoked.
move.
Okay.
Yeah, like backing the trucks up to load it up.
Nice. So that was their workout for the day?
Yeah, pretty much. Works out very easily that way.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. So what does this building look like?
So
Can I drive by on Powers?
So we're just off of Powers. Like if you're at the light on Powers and Research, you'll see an Integrity Bank, you'll see a 7-Eleven and a pizza shop. We are nestled in there. We're right next to a dry cleaners and a Chinese restaurant.
Okay, and Research, I can't recall what part. Is that north of Powers or?
It's the northeast side of Colorado Springs. Yep. So very close to the neighborhoods of Cordera and Wolf Ranch.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. Awesome, man. So if anyone wanted to start their own route down personal training, what advice would you give to them?
Be persistent. A lot of things change. So you always got to stay on top of your research. You really do have to.
You're literally on top of your research.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Just making sure that you're not falling behind, because there is a lot of competition out there, whether it's in person or online.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a very low barrier to entry to becoming a personal trainer or a group class instructor. So many try it, but there is very high turnover.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So do you guys do any online training, or did you guys do online when we were forced to shut down?
So prior to the COVID shutdown, we did not do anything online. But then in the midst of that, we did have a handful of personal training clients that had things at home that asked, hey, can we train virtually? So we hopped on Zoom like many other people did, and it worked out better than I thought it would. And we still have, I think, 4, even though we've reopened and have been open for a while again, that are just more comfortable at home, works better for their schedules.
Yeah.
So
it's the accountability piece that's the most important part for them?
Yeah, absolutely. And because we even dropped down the time. So if they were we only do 30 minutes on Zoom for the personal training, but they've all still experienced the results that they want, or, they're working towards, and they know if they don't log into that, they're not working out that day. So the accountability is huge.
Oh yeah, for sure. So anyone wanting to get fit, what would you tell them?
You just got to get started.
Yeah.
You just got to get
So
started.
it's like starting a business.
Absolutely. It really is.
Yeah.
Because there are too many ways to do it. There's too much advice out there. Find something that you enjoy and stick with it. You know, you're not going to see the changes that you want in that first week. Be persistent. You know, you got to give it 30 days, 60 days to really start seeing that growth that you want or those changes that you want.
So when you say just get started, does that mean even if it's doing just 5 push-ups?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Everybody's at different levels. So that's all you can do is start where you are at. And then if you have any questions, we have many places in town that can help you. But if any questions, you can always shoot us a message and we will help you as much as we can.
Yeah. What about the nutrition side?
The nutrition side, we can definitely do that. That is not my forte.
Okay.
That is Hannah, my wife, actually runs the nutrition side of things.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys are like a team, huh?
Yeah. There's no way this Pick It Up would exist without Hannah.
Yeah, okay.
So she handles the nutrition side of things, and it's, once again, the accountability piece is huge. We're not cramming any one particular diet towards you. We just need you to truly take hold of your nutrition, make the small changes, create those habits so that it's not just a quick fix, you know, for a vacation that you're going on or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Some long-term stuff. I know I got some bad habits that I need to fix.
Oh, we all do, Andrew.
Yeah. No, for sure. So what's the future of this business look like for you? Where do you want to take it?
So the growth that we've experienced in the last 2 years has been tremendous, even in the midst of COVID and then reopening after COVID. We're not going anywhere. Even during that, we're very fortunate to be able to re-sign a lease, so we know that we are at our space for the next 5 years. But really, we just want to keep expanding our class schedule. So currently, we offer classes at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 4:30, 5:30, 6:30 p.m. Then we have a lighter schedule on the weekends. Just 3 classes, so Saturday morning, 7 a.m. and 8 a.m., Sunday morning, 9 a.m. But the goal really is to just continue to help more people. So step 1 at Pick It Up is really just coming in and having a conversation just like this.
Yeah.
So that's always just 10, 15 minutes. Let's talk. Let's see if we're a good fit for you. If we're not, based on your goals, based on what you might be looking for, we're still going to try and point you in the right direction. But for the time being, we just want to keep providing more opportunities for our staff and for our members, so having that class schedule grow. Okay.
And how big can it grow?
It's a very, very good question. So, because prime time is prime time for a reason, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So we have so I think on our busiest day, if I'm not mistaken, we do have 8 classes.
So there's a lot of people that come and work out at 5 a.m.?
Pre-COVID, that was the one that was full the most.
Wow, okay.
Just people that got to get up and get to it and then get get their kids to school,
get to
work.
That actually makes sense, yeah. That's a choice you kind of got to take, you know.
Yeah, it's now or it's not happening today.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of us, myself included, the longer the day goes on, the less likely I am to work out.
Interesting.
That motivation just goes down. I wish I did it earlier in the morning. 5 a.m. is a bit early for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not working out at 5 a.m. But then COVID changed a lot of things. So now 5 a.m., while it's still an awesome class, doesn't have the wait list that we used to have because so many people's schedules changed. They get to do work from home, so they're realizing, like, okay, I don't have to wake up that early. I can come to the 9 a.m. or the 10 a.m., whatever it may be.
Interesting. So, okay, sweet. So what challenges do you think you're going to have to face when growth comes?
Figuring out the right class times.
Okay.
Yeah. Just making sure that it makes sense because it's going to be trial and error, but with what's happened in the last year, it has presented some new opportunities because more people are working from home and they're not even sure if they're going to go back into their offices. So they have a little more flexibility in their schedule.
Yeah.
So we might be able to make those odd hours work a little better. It's been a long time since we've had like a noon class that comes up probably once or twice a month through email from people looking for a noon class. So we can begin to experiment with things like that. We just got to make sure that it makes sense for everybody.
Yeah, because someone has to be there for that to happen. So is there maybe there's like a way to optimize of that where there's other things you can do while you're in the shop or in the gym, and like those things are things that can be done in between things while you're there. And if a class happens, I don't know, like trying to fill
Sure.
that time so that you're already there, so that it's like no problem if you have a class that time.
Yep, absolutely. So we do a lot of personal training. So we do have members that opt in to have 24/7 access.
Oh, okay.
And it's not something that's offered right off the bat. We want to make sure that they have a good amount of coaching from us under their
Yeah.
belt before we just let them wander around and try silly things potentially. So we do have that option to add on, and several people that enjoy working out in the middle of the day or even late at night take us up on that. But in the middle of the day, that is when we do a lot of our personal training. So we will see those people coming in. So that is a great idea, great point, and something that we're trying to figure out.
No, for sure. You know, I don't run a gym, so I don't know. But it's just, you know, I like to throw out ideas too.
We will listen to all of your
Yeah.
ideas.
All right. Sweet. So what's one of the things that you see the most common things that happen when people don't achieve their goals when it comes to fitness?
Unfortunately, it's kind of what I alluded to earlier. People not wanting to see it through long, stick it out longer, stick it out long enough to see the results. Excuse me. So,
Why is that?
It's kind of discouraging. You're going really hard for those 2 weeks, whatever it may be. You think that you're doing awesome with your nutrition, but you're like, what's going on? Nothing's changing. So that's why we really encourage you and anybody listening. It's a big thing to track your food in some way, even if you're just writing it down. There's a million apps out there that you can use, but there's a great chance that something is off there.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite is MyFitnessPal.
Okay. Yeah, I've used that one before. It's a good one.
And that's why, because it's so popular, because so many people have experience with it. It's a very, very simple one to use, and it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they have a big database too.
Huge database that just keeps growing, and like you can go into most restaurants now, and MyFitnessPal will know what it is.
Yeah, you can find some crazy organic fruit from Madagascar. On there.
They got it. They got it.
Yeah, man. So that's cool. So how do you keep your fitness going? Is it like second nature now?
No.
Or will it ever be?
No, it is certainly not second nature. Hannah and I have 2 young kids at home, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, that are amazing, but they make things a little more difficult. We go through stretches in which we try and make it to our classes. It's been a while since we've been able to do that, just figured out with our schedules between what's going on at home with the kids, what's going on with personal training schedule. So how we keep it going, we really just do what we can. We take the time, okay, we have 20 minutes. Let's make the most of it. We do have a setup in our garage. Then we, of course, have Pick It Up, which is about 10 minutes from our home. Kind of piecemealing it, but as long as we're getting something in, we feel pretty good about it.
And you guys have trainers under that work for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way I'd be sitting here with you on a Saturday if we didn't have an awesome staff.
Nice. Okay, sweet.
So we have 3 trainers that work for us currently, that have been with us for a couple years now. And yeah, they're the ones that are in front of our members the most. They're the ones getting up at 4 a.m. to make sure that we're open for 5 a.m. Yeah, Jesse, Dane, and Wes.
Nice.
Yeah. Without a doubt, we could not be doing Pick It Up wouldn't be what it is without them.
Okay, so how do you go about the whole employee process? Just as since this is a business podcast, how did you start that? And what were some of the biggest challenges with getting employees, but also finding the right employees, but also trusting the right employees?
A lot of it. So that's an excellent question. It is a very tough process, especially it's a tough process no matter what your field is, I'm sure. But as I mentioned earlier, there is a pretty low barrier to entry to being a personal trainer or a fitness coach. So we do get a lot of resumes that come through different websites that are gym-specific sites, and then like the occasional Indeed ones and whatnot, like kind of the popular ones. And step one is always inviting them in to work out with us, hang out with us. Let's see if we even like each other before we worry about anything like that.
No, for sure, yeah.
So there's kind of that trial period. Just come and hang out, work out, be a member, get to know the people that you could potentially be coaching. But the ones that we have now, so one of them I worked with a decade ago at a smaller gym here in town, just a great personal trainer that then wanted to learn more about group classes. One of them was actually a member of ours for a couple of years. Okay. And that's a very popular avenue in our field. So just saw that, everybody saw him putting in the work, saw his results. He started to take a love for the science of it. And then,
And people are like, how did you do that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Like, whoa, you look way different than you did 3 months ago, kind of thing.
Or not even just how did you do that? I trust your approach because you've done it before.
Yep. Yeah, a lot more credibility in that sense. Yeah. But we've gone through our fair share of employees through the years. We've had several that have been with us for several years, and then people kind of grow out of the fitness space, or they realize that they might want to, the passion might have faded a little bit.
Okay.
And then it's time to
Or
move
it might
on.
have increased and it's time to start your own or something.
Potentially, yeah. We definitely have coaches that coached for us that are currently at other facilities in town. And
Nice.
that's awesome because that just shows, that they're sticking around in the fitness industry, and we need more people to stick around in the fitness industry.
Okay. Sweet, man. So anything specific that you'd like to promote today on this episode?
Ooh, good question. Nothing too specific. I mean, honestly, if you have any questions, shoot us an email, send us a message on Facebook. If you're curious about how we do things, as I mentioned earlier, it really all begins with a conversation. So we just need to schedule a time for you to come in, us to show you our space, more importantly, talk about your goals, what you're looking for in a gym, and we just see if we're a good fit for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the frequently asked questions that you guys get? Some of the most common questions you guys get coming in, or when people reach out to you guys.
Oh, man. I wasn't prepared for that one, Andrew.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was a new one. I just thought of it, actually.
The first one really is can you help me lose this weight? Is probably always going to be the most popular one. That one will come up, but really it's going to always come down to
What does that actually mean, though? Can
yeah, yeah. How much weight are we talking? Is there something that you're fixated on the scale that you want to see on the scale, or can we get you on our InBody and show you potentially more important numbers like body fat percentage and things like that? And then another popular one, oh man, you stumped me. Really that, and then class schedules. Can we come and do that? There we go. Do you have open gym time? Like, can I just wander in and do my own thing? And like I mentioned earlier, we have that option to add on, but we don't encourage it. We love what we do. We're very proud of our coaches and what they can provide for you. So that's why
that's next level, like that kind of environment, that's like Planet Fitness,
Sure.
If you want that, Planet Fitness is a good route for that.
Exactly. And after those conversations, there have been plenty of times where, that's kind of where we send them, to a place like that. Like, oh, you don't really want help just yet. You still want to try it on your own. Well, then that doesn't make sense for you to come here and pay for a membership here. Let's send you to a 24-hour fitness, a Planet Fitness, whatever it may be.
And it would make sense, like if you go through the training with you guys and you do want to start a gym, it would make sense, like, okay, I like this gym. I want to stay here. And then it's good to have that option.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you guys do any kind of special events or any kind of special things for your members?
So COVID changed everything, but we used to do a girls' night, a guys' night, different things. One of the and then COVID stopped everything, and we're still kind of feeling it out, seeing if people are comfortable really getting back together in groups. Have you ever, one of my favorite ones, have you ever seen, oh man, the one interview show where they're eating hot wings?
Yes.
Hot ones?
Hot ones, yeah.
Yes. So that show's phenomenal. So the last guys' night we did, I think it was the last one.
You did a hot ones?
Yeah, we worked out. We broed out like everybody wants to, a whole bunch of curls and bench press and things like that. And then that's what we did. We set the table up with, I think it was 10 different sauces, watched half of us cry like babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
did you film it?
No.
Okay. You should have.
Well, some people did. And I'm
like
sure
on
they
their
have it
phones?
on their phones, yeah. Because we had a couple people that were out for the count for like 20 minutes, couldn't talk to us, just like, give me more milk. It was really hot.
I've had some hot sauce. I didn't read the label. I did not know that it was this kind of hot sauce. Some hot sauce it's like really, really, like it could probably put you in the hospital if you take too much of it.
Oh, I believe it.
And I doused this whatever I was eating in it, not knowing that it was like this crazy hot sauce. For like, it gave me like, for like 30 minutes, like I couldn't do anything. I was like paralyzed.
Yeah.
Because I literally inhaled a bunch of it. It was bad.
Believe it. There's so many. There's so many options out there. And when it comes, and then I learned about like the whole Scovilles or whatever it is that they talk about. I started noticing them on bottles and pushing them away from me. I don't need that.
Yeah. I almost ruined hot sauce for me from that.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was funny though, but it was bad. But yeah, so you have a podcast too, right? That you just started?
We do. Yeah. Thanks for asking. It's we are on this week will be episode 25, I believe.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of everything. We interview our coaches. We get to know our coaches a little bit better. We of course talk fitness and nutrition and just tips and tricks of the trade, and then we also interview our members.
Okay.
So everybody gets to know those that they're working out with a little bit better. And
so what's the purpose of the podcast? What's the main goal?
The main goal is just to provide more for our members.
That's beautiful. And that's what I love about podcasts. That's why I asked that question, why I was interested, because that's an amazing thing. Like podcasts can be either someone like me wanting to be a top 100 podcast, or they can serve a specific like task or a specific kind of goal in mind that's very small and only meant for like a small amount of people.
Yep.
And that's amazing too. I recently started playing StarCraft again because Blizzard has like this whole new. I haven't played video games in over a decade, and I recently started playing that again. And I found this is how bad I'm in it. I found a StarCraft podcast.
Oh, cool! That's awesome.
Yeah. So I thought it was cool, and it was you could see like them interviewing world champions, because I found out there's a whole tournament side of it, and like I was like, I'm about to quit everything I'm doing.
Focus on that.
And focus on StarCraft. No, not really. I had the thought, though, but I'm not going to do it.
Well, good. I think we're enjoying listening to your podcast, so don't stop this.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I think we can actually start wrapping this up. Anything else you'd like to say before we go?
No, I mean, if you don't follow us on social media yet, please do. Facebook, Instagram, Pick It Up Fitness. We have some fun things that we're working out for the summer with some other businesses in town on our side of town. None that I'm willing to divulge yet, but they're going to get the community a little more involved that you won't have to be a member at Pick It Up for. So just keep an eye out for that. And check out our podcast.
Yeah, check out what is it called?
Oh, Pick It Up Podcast.
Pick It Up Podcast.
Yeah, we're not too creative.
I just realized why Pick It Up sounds so intriguing to me specifically. It's a unique thing. My stepdad, he's Samoan, and he's from Samoa, and he has a Samoan accent. And he used to say when he says he's got to go pick up someone or something, he says, "I got to go pick it up, I got to go pick it up the kids or something,
Nice.
So
now I'm going to say our name with his accent.
Yeah, exactly. Pick it up. So I just realized, why does this like feel so at home for me? Like Pick It Up Fitness.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so there's that. I just wanted to throw that out there because I just thought of it too. But yeah, I just realized this. So yeah. And yeah, so we'll start wrapping this up. This has been the COS Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.